Hey, Bears fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The rumor that started echoing through the Chicago football universe did not arrive quietly. It crept in through side comments, half smiles, and that dramatic pause every YouTuber loves to play with when something big might be about to drop. The story being whispered is that Ben Johnson, the head coach known for his sharp offensive mind and even sharper tongue behind closed doors, supposedly reached a breaking point with Rome Odunze. The phrase that people keep repeating, always attributed to anonymous ears and never to a microphone, is that Johnson said Odunze is out and that he does not want to work with him anymore. No cameras, no official statement, just that raw locker room energy where words hit harder than helmets. When a coach like Johnson, who built his reputation climbing through multiple offensive roles, is rumored to draw such a hard line, fans immediately start connecting dots that may or may not exist. Some say it is about attitude, others whisper about creative differences in how the offense should breathe and move. The idea alone is explosive because Odunze represents potential, youth, and a future many supporters were emotionally invested in. So when this kind of talk surfaces, it feels less like a football decision and more like a personal rift. And in the YouTube storytelling world, this is the kind of rumor that turns a regular video into a late-night debate filled with comments, theories, and heated arguments. What makes this speculation even juicier is the background of Ben Johnson himself, a coach who earned respect by adapting, teaching, and molding players rather than discarding them. People who follow his journey closely love to point out how he worked with different positions, learning the offensive game from the inside out, becoming someone who values precision and trust. That is why the alleged statement about Odunze feels so shocking to many. If Johnson truly said that he will not play him anymore, the assumption is that something deeper happened beyond a missed route or a failed read. Rumor has it that tension had been building slowly, with small moments during practice that only insiders would notice. A look held too long, a correction ignored, a play run with hesitation instead of conviction. In football culture, especially at the professional level, these details matter more than public statistics. Fans imagine film sessions filled with silence, body language screaming louder than words. In a YouTube narrative style, this becomes a story about control and vision, about a coach trying to impose his identity on a roster that may not be fully aligned yet. Whether true or exaggerated, the idea that Johnson would be that blunt fuels endless speculation about leadership styles clashing with youthful confidence. On the other side of this rumored storm stands Rome Odunze, a wide receiver whose rise has been anything but quiet. Coming from a college program where he was celebrated as one of the most complete players in his position, Odunze arrived with expectations heavy enough to bend locker room dynamics. Fans saw him as a cornerstone, a name you build future highlight reels around. That is why the idea of him being suddenly pushed aside feels almost unreal. According to the whispers, Odunze may have struggled to adapt to the exact demands Johnson places on his receivers, not in terms of talent, but in terms of discipline and execution. In YouTube commentary fashion, people say Odunze plays with freedom, while Johnson coaches with structure, and those two philosophies do not always mix smoothly. Some speculate that the receiver wanted more autonomy on the field, while the coach demanded strict adherence to the scheme. When those worlds collide, the fallout can be dramatic. Fans imagine private conversations turning cold, encouragement slowly replaced by frustration. None of this is confirmed, but in sports media, perception often becomes reality long before facts catch up. The mere rumor plants a seed that grows with every retelling. As this story circulates, the fan base becomes divided, which is exactly the kind of energy that keeps sports channels alive. One side argues that a head coach has the right to set boundaries and make tough calls to protect the locker room culture. They frame Johnson as a leader who refuses to compromise his standards, even if that means sidelining a talented player. The other side views Odunze as a victim of impatience, a young receiver still finding his rhythm in a complex system. In this speculative narrative, every drop pass from the past is re-examined. Every sideline shot becomes evidence. YouTubers lean into this by slowing down clips, reading lips, and narrating emotions that may never have existed. The rumor becomes a lens through which every interaction is judged. Did Johnson avoid eye contact, or was he just focused? Did O'Duns look frustrated, or was he simply catching his breath? In the absence of official clarity, imagination fills the gaps. This is where sports rumor turns into entertainment, blending analysis with drama in a way that keeps viewers watching until the last second. There is also the broader implication that people love to speculate about, which is what this means for the direction of the team itself. When a coach and a high-profile receiver are rumored to be at odds, it raises questions about long-term vision. Some fans whisper that Johnson is trying to reshape the offense around players who fully buy into his philosophy, even if that means letting go of star potential. Others fear this could signal instability, the kind that can derail development and create tension across the roster. In YouTube-style storytelling, this becomes a crossroads moment, a turning point that future documentaries might revisit. Was this the moment Johnson asserted full control, or the moment a promising connection was lost too soon? Without confirmation, every theory feels plausible. The rumor lives in that gray area where certainty does not exist, only interpretation. And that is exactly why it spreads so fast, because everyone can project their own beliefs onto it. What truly keeps this speculation alive is the silence surrounding it. No immediate denial, no emotional press conference, just a vacuum that invites voices from every corner to speak up. In the world of online sports commentary, silence is often louder than any statement. Fans read into it, assuming that if nothing is said, something must be happening behind the scenes. YouTubers frame their videos with dramatic intros, lowering their voice as if sharing a secret. They remind viewers that rumors are not facts, but they also know that rumors often carry a grain of truth. The alleged words attributed to Johnson, that blunt declaration about not playing O'Duns anymore, feel too strong to ignore. Whether it was said exactly that way or softened by context, the idea has taken on a life of its own. And once a rumor reaches that stage, it stops being just about football and starts becoming a story about power, pride, and the fragile balance between talent and authority. Part 2. As the speculation continues to swirl, the narrative evolves from a simple disagreement into a full-blown saga that fans cannot stop dissecting. In this second wave of rumors, some voices claim that the situation between Ben Johnson and Rome O'Duns is less about anger and more about leverage. The idea floating around is that Johnson might be sending a message, not only to O'Duns but to the entire locker room, about who truly sets the tone. In YouTube storytelling fashion, this is framed as a chess move rather than an emotional outburst. By allegedly drawing a hard line, Johnson could be reinforcing his authority early, making it clear that reputation and draft hype do not outweigh accountability. This theory paints him as calculated, someone who understands that controlling the narrative inside the building is just as important as play design. Fans who believe this angle argue that the rumor itself serves a purpose, whether intentional or not. It forces players to choose sides internally, to either align fully with the coach or risk being seen as resistant. In that sense, O'Duns becomes a symbol rather than just a receiver, representing the challenge of transitioning from collegiate stardom to professional discipline. The speculation thrives because it offers a storyline deeper than routes and catches, one rooted in leadership psychology. Another layer added by commentators is the possibility that this rumored fallout could actually be temporary, a dramatic pause rather than a permanent separation. In sports, especially at the professional level, strong personalities often clash before finding common ground. Some fans suggest that Johnson and O'Duns are too competitive, too driven, and that friction is almost inevitable. In this telling, the alleged statement about O'Duns being out is less a final verdict and more a moment of frustration blown out of proportion. YouTubers love this angle because it leaves room for redemption arcs. They talk about intense closed-door meetings, honest conversations, and the kind of reset that only happens after things boil over. This version of the rumor portrays O'Dunn's as someone who needs to be challenged to unlock his full potential, and Johnson as the coach willing to push him there, even if it looks harsh from the outside. Whether true or not, this interpretation keeps hope alive for fans who do not want to imagine a future without that connection. It turns the story from a breakup into a test of character on both sides. Of course, not everyone buys into the idea of reconciliation. Another camp of speculation insists that once words like those attributed to Johnson are spoken, there is no easy way back. In football culture, respect is currency, and rumors of public dismissal, even if unconfirmed, can damage relationships beyond repair. This angle paints O'Dunn's as someone who might quietly shut down, feeling that trust has been broken. YouTubers discussing this theory often emphasize body language and emotional intelligence, suggesting that players remember how they are treated in moments of conflict. If O'Dunn's truly feels unwanted, the argument goes his confidence and engagement could suffer, making the situation self-fulfilling. Johnson, in this version, is seen as a coach willing to accept collateral damage to maintain his standards. Fans debate whether that approach builds champions or creates unnecessary fractures. The rumor becomes a mirror reflecting each viewer's philosophy about leadership and empathy in high-pressure environments. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. There is also speculation about how teammates might be reacting behind the scenes, which adds another dramatic dimension to the story. In the absence of facts, people imagine locker room conversations filled with uncertainty. Some players might admire Johnson's firmness, seeing it as proof that no one is above the system. Others might quietly sympathize with O'Dunn's, especially those who have experienced similar struggles adjusting to demanding coaching styles. In YouTube narratives, this becomes a delicate ecosystem where every relationship matters. The idea that one rumored conflict could ripple through an entire roster makes the story feel bigger than two individuals. Commentators speculate about veterans acting as mediators, about captains trying to keep focus, about how quickly morale can shift when trust feels fragile. Again, none of this is confirmed, but the speculation feels real because it aligns with how human dynamics work in competitive spaces. The rumor feeds on that realism, making it believable enough to sustain long discussions and passionate opinions. From a broader media perspective, this rumored clash highlights how modern sports stories are shaped as much by interpretation as by action. A single alleged sentence, repeated enough times, can redefine how fans see both a coach and a player. Johnson becomes either a strong leader or an inflexible authority figure, depending on who is telling the story. O'Dunn's becomes either a talented player struggling to adapt or a rising star unfairly constrained. YouTubers thrive in this ambiguity, crafting narratives that keep viewers engaged without ever crossing into confirmed reporting. They remind audiences that rumors are part of the entertainment, a way to explore possibilities rather than declare truths. Yet even with those disclaimers, the emotional impact remains. Fans form opinions, pick sides, and carry those feelings into every future game moment they watch, even if nothing is ever officially acknowledged. In the end, what makes this rumor so compelling is not whether it is true, but what it represents. It taps into universal themes of authority, growth, conflict, and identity within team sports. The idea that Ben Johnson might have drawn a line with Rome O'Dunn's resonates because it reflects the tension between system and individuality, between vision and expression. As long as there is no clear resolution, the speculation will continue to evolve, reshaped by every practice clip, every sideline shot, and every moment of silence. In the YouTube world, this is storytelling gold, a narrative that can be revisited again and again from new angles. Whether it ends in separation, reconciliation, or quiet resolution, the rumor itself has already done its work, sparking debate and keeping the spotlight firmly on both figures. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.